Hi friends, back again. All right, now, sorry, I just want to make sure you can see the whole page. All right, now we're going to be on page 594. And when we do this page, we're again going to be making those bar graphs. So if we look at the top, we're going to do model and draw together. Now it asks the question, are there more daisies or sunflowers in the garden? So we're going to look at this picture of the garden to use as a reference for how many of each flower we need to graph. It says make a bar graph to find out. Shade one box for each flower in the picture. So again, remember how you figured out how to color it in. Now last time we asked out as we did it. I'm going to show you another thing that you could do if you wanted to. You could count the set. So remember how we know that if we draw all the way across, we can get to that number. So if I wanted to, I could count each set of flowers to check. So we're going to do this one together, and then I'm going to have you do the survey on the bottom on your own. Okay, so let's look, and together I want to count how many daisies we have. So I'm going to cross them out as I do it just so that I know I'm counting them right. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I counted 5 daisies. So now I know on my graph that I have to graph 5 daisies. Notice that they did the first one for you. So you don't have to do that first one, but you want to get all the way to 5. So how that helps me is I can draw my finger up, and then I know that I'm going to color in all the bars all the way down to 5. I want you to do the same thing in your math book. Now we're going to count how many sunflowers we have. So again, remember, I X them out. It just helps me to double check because you want to make sure your bar graph is correct and accurate, because if someone looks at it and you forgot one, then it might not quite be right. So now I'm going to count the sunflowers and X them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this time I counted 7, which means I'm going to go all the way down. Oh, we're going all the way to the end of the graph. So I'm going to take my crayon and I'm going to color in all the way to 7. You can do the same thing. Now, one thing I notice, it makes it very easy to compare when I look right at my graph. So you're doing this part on your own. It says there are more blank in the garden. Look at that bar graph and tell me, are there more daisies or sunflowers? When you write the word, I know we do awesome with our sounding out, but I have the words in my book. So I'm going to use daisies or sunflowers from in my graph to write that word. So make sure you look up at your graph to help you spell it down there. All right, let's look at share and show. Now you're going to do this one on your own, but it's a survey. So remember that when we do our surveys, sometimes you don't have 10 people to ask, and that's okay. If you look right below this video, Miss Murphy took a survey of some of the teachers at St. Cajetan, and I asked them what hand they write with. So it says, do more children write with their left hand or right hand? Ask 10 friends which hand they use and make a bar graph. So at home, I want you to ask whoever's home, mom, dad, brothers, or sisters. If you can chat with your friends, go ahead. You could send them a message and say, do you write with your left hand or your right hand? But we're going to graph it on here. Now, I'm going to do my own self on here. So I'm going to do myself on here. You can do yourself on here, and you could count me. But I write with my right hand. So I'm going to go down here and right at the beginning, remember we started a bar graph all the way over here, right by the word on the left-hand side. I write with my right hand, so I colored in the first bar. Now, you still need 9 more bars colored in. Yours counts as 1 more, so then there's 8. After you finish your bar graph, I want you to answer the question, which hand do more children use? And instead of children, remember it's people, because we're asking all different people that question. So I want you to finish your bar graph. And then on this line, I want you to write left or right. Again, the words are right here, so use those words to spell. Okay, we have one more page left. You guys are doing awesome with your bar graphs.